Hello friends, today we're going to be going over all the products that I've been loving in the month of February. I can't believe February is over already. This year feels like it's flying by, but I have a lot of products to talk about, so let's just go ahead and jump right in because it's going to be a long one. So grab a coffee, grab a snack, grab a blankie, and let's go ahead and get started. Okay, the first product is actually something that I tried out last month in January, but I forgot to put it in my January favorites, and it is the e.l.f. Whoa Glow Suntouchable SPF 30. This is so perfect. It is an SPF, which is like the most vital step in your skincare. It protects against aging, protects against skin cancer, all that stuff that we want to protect our skin against. But this also leaves the most beautiful, glowy finish on your skin. It has a slight yellowish tint to it, but you can't really see it once it's blended out. I think that just keeps it from having like a white cast on your skin, but like the glow that this gives your skin is insane. It's so beautiful and it works perfectly under makeup. It's like a primer and skincare product all in one. It never pills. It's never had any issues mixing with any of the other foundations or base products that I pair it with. So definitely love this. If you're on the hunt for an affordable sunscreen and you want something to be like a glowy primer also, try this out because it's really good. I recently tried this setting spray from Moira Cosmetics. This is their Hydra priming setting spray. And honestly, I just picked this up because I don't have a lot of setting sprays. I usually buy blushes and bronzers and I have a million of those, so I figured if I was gonna try something new from this brand, it should be something that I don't have that much of. And I'm also always looking for a good hydrating spray that I can use to prep my skin before makeup. I feel like it helps to just wake it up again, wake my skin up, hydrate it, plump it up before I go in with a primer. So I really love hydrating setting sprays, and this one is amazing. The spritzer is so fine. It literally feels like you're going to a spa. It has a light fragrance, but it's not anything obnoxious and it doesn't irritate my skin. I actually really like the fragrance, but just something to keep in mind if you are sensitive to fragrances. It doesn't leave your skin looking oily or greasy like some hydrating setting sprays can do. It just gives your skin like a little bit of hydration before and after makeup. It helps all the powders melt into your skin after you're finished applying your makeup. So overall, it's a really great setting spray. I'm not sure if it prolongs the wear of your makeup, but for prepping your skin and helping all of your powders to like melt together at the end, this is really good. Makeup Revolution recently launched these IRL Filter Finish concealers. To be honest, I wasn't expecting too much from this concealer because their foundation, I've heard, is allegedly very full coverage, a little bit on the cakier side, a little bit more matte. So I was thinking that this concealer might be similar, but actually I find it to be very natural on the skin. It has a beautiful medium coverage. It's not too dewy, but it's also not matte or drying. It's like the perfect everyday middle of the road concealer. I really love it. If you're looking for a good new affordable concealer, I really like this one. It actually reminds me a lot of the LYS Triple Fix Full Coverage Concealer. If you like this concealer, I think you would also like this one. This one might be a tad bit more satin. This one is more satin, but maybe a tad bit more hydrating. I think though overall they're very similar. I love both of these for every day, and they're just like the perfect middle of the road, not too dewy, not too matte finish. You don't have to think too hard about it and they just work really well. Also, if you have dry skin, you don't have to set these with the powder at all. Another product from Moira that I tested out is the Set and Correct Finishing Powder. This is one of those powders that is supposed to color correct and set your makeup at the same time. Think of the Givenchy Prisme Libre sort of powder, except that is a loose version. This is pressed. So I actually find this a little bit easier to control because you don't have powder like flying everywhere up in your face. It comes, I think, in two different shades. There's one that has a green shade and maybe a deeper orangey red. I'm not quite sure, but I do know there's two versions of this. I got this one because it does have this purple, which I thought would be good for brightening under my eyes. I do like this for brightening. I actually really like this peachy shade for smoothing. For some reason, the peachy tone really smooths out my skin and like deletes my pores, especially under my eyes. I do have a little bit of hollowness under my eyes, so even though a concealer might cover the darkness, sometimes concealers don't always cover up like the indentation or the hollowness under my eyes. But this powder, if I just press a little bit on with like my beauty blender and just tap it in, like I'll rub a light layer onto the beauty blender and then just tap it in over my concealer, and I swear it literally will like flatten out this area and make it look super smooth. So I really like this powder. I'm intrigued to try more powders from them. Like they have a waterproof powder that maybe I'll try in the future because I was really impressed by this one. It takes a lot for me to be impressed by powders because I do have more dry skin, and a lot of powders, especially powders from the drugstore, just unfortunately don't work for my skin type. However, this month was the month of powders. I found two. I will tell you, two amazing affordable pressed powders. So it was the Moira one, which I really love, and then this Physicians Formula Butter Glow pressed powder in the shade Translucent Glow. I wasn't really sure what this powder was supposed to be. I'm like, is it a highlighter? Is it a setting powder? Why is it marbled? Is it a blush? Like what is it? But actually, it is just a very natural, semi-luminous setting powder. It's almost like the Hourglass dim light sort of setting powders. Sets your makeup, but it doesn't make you look flat or matte. It still lets that luminosity and that vibrancy of your skin exist, peek through. It doesn't erase that. So I really, really like it. It's super lightweight. It's not drying on the skin, but it does set your makeup down. So if I'm wearing a really dewy foundation and I feel like it's gonna slip and slide around, I can just go in with this powder and do a light dusting like all over my face with a big fluffy brush. And it doesn't change the finish. It keeps it nice and dewy and fresh. It doesn't look like I'm wearing powder, but it makes sure that everything is like locked and loaded. So this is really good. I was like, what is this? But I'm super excited about it and super happy that I tried it because I think it's one of those products that could be easily overlooked because it's a little bit confusing as to like what it is, like Translucent Glow, Butter Glow pressed powder. Is it a highlighter, you know? But it's really good. Two blushes that I fell in love with this month. Okay, if you get anything from this video, it should be this blush because literally it's like $5 and it is so beautiful. It is, I kid you not, probably the closest dupe to the Charlotte Tilbury Blushgasm blushes because it gives your skin the most beautiful, glowy finish, but it's not sticky, it's not glittery. It doesn't dry down to be matte. Like I said, it's glowy, but it's not oily or greasy. I don't know how they did it, and I also am obsessed with this color. This is in the shade Born Yesterday, and it's the perfect, trendy, bubblegum pink that everyone is loving these days. It makes you look super fresh, super awake, super alive, super youthful. And it is a little bit sheer, like you can blend it out and sheer it out definitely, but you can also build it up and I don't find that it gets patchy on the cheeks at all. It's also super long wearing because it does dry down a bit, so it doesn't like slide off of your face like some more creamy blushes can do. I also really like the doe foot applicator because I feel like it's super easy to just like place it exactly where you want it. And it's so slim and lightweight, like this would be perfect for traveling. This is really good. This is the first product from Hard Candy that I've really enjoyed in a while. Okay, so this is huge. Probably not the best for traveling on the other side of the aisle, but this is the Strawberry Cream 4-in-1 Color Cream from Undone Beauty. So basically this is just a really huge cream cheek palette. And what I like about it is that you do get the variety in tones. You have 3 different blush shades and then this sort of like highlighty shade, which you can use as a highlighter. You can mix together with the blushes to make more of a highlighty blush. And I really like this formula because I was worried it was going to be too creamy, too slip and slidey, too emollient, like oily, but it's really not. It actually has a very, it feels more hardly pressed in the pan, but it is super pigmented. It's almost a little bit waxy, but not in a bad way. It is very, very pigmented, as you can see, so I think it'll work on a lot of different skin tones. Love the way it blends out. I love how you can sheer it out, build it up. It lasts really well. I love the versatility of this. It's perfect for like the no makeup look, everyday makeup. It's really, really pretty. Another cream product that I've been loving that I think launched this month was the Tower 28 Sculptino. This is their matte bronzer. I tried the Bronzino when the brand first launched a couple years ago, and honestly I wasn't a huge fan because it was very, very glittery and shimmery and almost too much on my skin for my preferences. So when I heard that they were launching a matte version, I was really, really excited. And you can see on my hand, this one does not have shimmer or glitter in it, which I'm very happy about. I wouldn't say it's a matte finish like it's marketed as. It's matte in the sense that it doesn't have glitter or shimmer. but it doesn't dry down to be matte at all. It's actually more dewy. It gives you like that dewy dumpling cheek. It stays very glowy. So just something to be aware of. I actually really like that finish, but if you were thinking that this is going to be like a matte cream that's going to like dry down, it doesn't do that. Also, it's called the Sculptino. So I feel like that name just suggests like contouring, like sculpting. So I was under the impression that these shades would come across a little bit more cool toned on the cheeks just for that chiseled effect. But actually this shade, I had the shade Broad, is a bit more almost warm. It's sort of neutrally warm, but it definitely leans a little bit more warm on my skin tone. I don't mind that. I think it's flattering. I think it's a nice shade. It's just not perfect for sculpting. I feel like it's more of a bronzer. I feel like it's very pigmented but very easy to sheer out, very blendable. So in that sense, you can make it very natural. It's perfect for like if you're just going to the pool, if you're going to the beach, you don't want to wear a lot of foundation. It's a perfect like no makeup sort of a bronzer, and I do prefer this formula to the original Bronzino because that one again was too shimmery for me. So I do really like this. If you were on the fence and you like a more dewy, buildable cream, I think you will not be disappointed in this. I like the fact that it's clean beauty. It's more on the affordable side for a Sephora brand. So yeah, nothing negative to say about it. I've actually been really liking it. I just don't think it was what it was marketed as completely, but I do really like it still, if that makes sense. An honorable mention-ish is this cream bronzer stick from LYS. This is their No Limits cream bronzer stick. I have mine in the shade Motivate. I love the packaging. It comes in like this little triangle, which of course is very LYS. This shade is definitely a bronzer. It is very warm. It has more of like a yellowy undertone, but this one, it's actually very similar to the Tower 28 in that it's so creamy, but this one is far more pigmented. So if you like a very, very creamy, dewy bronzer, cream bronzer, and you want a lot of oomph, you want a lot of impact, try the LYS rather than the Tower 28. If you want something a little bit more sheer, go for the Tower 28. But I wanted to mention this because for the first half of the month, I was using this like crazy, like non-stop for that, like, I don't know, I'm just missing summer. I'm missing the bronzy skin. I've been putting on a little bit of self-tanner. I don't know if you can really tell, but I just wanted to give myself like that glowy, sun-kissed look, and I feel like this is the perfect product to achieve that. I love the stick. It's so easy to draw on, or you can just take your brush and like swirl it around in there. It's like pretty foolproof, I feel. It doesn't get patchy. It doesn't lift up the foundation underneath. It's really good. It's not a new product that launched this year. I think it launched last year, but it's so good, and I feel like not enough people talk about it. Very underrated cream bronzer. Okay, we're moving right along. I think the last complexion product I have to talk about is this. I'm not gonna say it, it's their foil from Melt Cosmetics. First of all, the packaging, like, it's huge. This is their liquid highlighter. I'm not sure if you're supposed to use this like all over your face, like the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter. I feel like it'd be too glowy for that. I use it mainly as like a liquid highlighter. I just pump a little bit out on the back of my hand, like so. You do get a lot. I try not to do a full pump because you don't really need that much product. I don't know if you can see on camera. It is pretty reflective, and I'll just take my finger and I will tap a little bit. I'll do it right now just so you can see onto the high points of my cheeks, and it just gives your skin that beautiful glow. It's not glittery. It layers really well over powders, like I'm layering it over a powder right now. It never looks artificial, and it's just a really great formula. It's not sticky, easy to blend. You have a lot of playtime with it, but it does set down and last really well on the cheeks. It's just a really pretty highlight. It's intense, but it also looks natural at the same time, which I feel like is very difficult for highlighters to do. It's really hard for a highlighter to be impactful but not look super artificial and look like too much. Like, wow, she's wearing a lot of highlighter. I have mine in the shade Stargazer. I wish that this came in a slightly lighter shade because I can get away with this now if I have self-tanner on. It's still a tiny bit too deep, but if I'm at my fairest, fair-skinned girlies cannot use this shade. I think it would be way too deep on you. So unfortunately, that's the one downside, is that the shade range is a bit limited, but the packaging is so nice. I love the glass container. It's super like heavy. It feels really luxurious. I don't know if it would be the best for travel, but it feels really sturdy and well made. The cap is very secure and snug. The pump is nice. And again, it's just a really great formula. I actually applied some on my chest area earlier just to see, because I feel like you do get a lot of product in here, so you could use it on like your arms, your shoulders, your collarbone during the summer, just to give your skin like that bronzy glow. Mix it in with your lotion maybe, and I feel like that'd be a really great way to use this. So definitely love this. Again, it's not a product that launched this month or this year, but I feel like a lot of people don't talk about this, and I really wanted to give it a shout out because it's really, really good. All right, we have 3 eye products and then a lip product, and we will be finished. The 3 eye products are actually all affordable, so super exciting. The Wet n Wild Shadow Silk Liquid Shadow, you guys, this is probably one of the best liquid shadows I have ever tried. I've only tried this one shade so far. It's their matte shade in the color Neutral Terra. Again, the shade range is a little bit limited on this. I wish they had a more like taupey shade, because this one is a little bit rosy, which is not terrible. I like the shade. I just wish they had something maybe a little bit more warm, a little bit more even cool toned, like a contour shade would be nice. But you can see these are very pigmented and they blend out like a dream. You can layer them. They don't get patchy, they don't get gunky, they don't pick up on themselves, they last all day long. They work really well as a base for eyeshadows, so I really, really recommend these. I think they're only a couple bucks, and this shade, especially Neutral Terra, is so good. I can't speak to the shimmer shades because I haven't tried them yet, but I really do like this matte shade, and if you're looking for a good matte liquid shadow that's not going to feel drying on your lids, that's going to last really well, that's not going to crease, check this out from Wet n Wild. Okay, this little palette was literally $3 from Walmart. It's the LA Girls Radiant Beauty eyeshadow palette. First of all, it's giving like that coconut palette that everyone loves, that I love from ColourPop. I think this is like pretty much a dupe. It has very similar tones. The mattes are super pigmented. This shade is perfect for a transition. I love this deep burgundy-ish, toasty, warm red brown. It is actually really good, and these colors are very difficult to formulate. This deep brown is really nice as a liner. The shimmers are more on the sheer toppery side, but I think for everyday they're really, really pretty. They're not like Pat McGrath, but they're also really good for every day, and I don't think you need to be wearing like Pat McGrath every day. I mean, if you want to, you definitely can, but I don't think you need something that intense. I think just for an everyday look, this is like perfect. You can throw it in your makeup bag, you can throw it in your travel makeup bag, and it's just like every color you would need for an everyday sort of a look, or even a more glam look, because you do have these deepening shades. It has good range. I also really like this matte ivory for like just all over the lid. I do a neutral, like a matte look a lot with this. Like this is my crease shade. I'll take this all over the lid and I'll use this as like a smoky liner, and it's like perfect. It's all you need. So if you see this, definitely pick this up, because I mean, you really can't go wrong. And then this I was super surprised about. This is the shadow pot. I think it's like their glitter shadow pot. Starshow shadow pot from Moira. I have mine in the shade 17 Eureka. So first of all, this is definitely very reminiscent of the Hourglass Scattered Light glitter shadows. It comes with like this little stopper, which the Hourglass ones do, and I mean, look at that reflection. This looks like liquid, delicious glitteriness. Like it's so soft in the pot. So I definitely think you should make sure you don't lose this little lid, because that's going to keep it from drying out. But when I tell you this is freaking gorgeous, like look at that. These are $7. I love this color because it's like a purpley silver, but it doesn't look too like cool tone on the eyes. I love shades like these. You can tap it on to make it more sheer, so you could have it like a glittery topper, or like a whisper of color, or you can wear it like full on and have it really opaque and intense all over the lid, and I think it's so beautiful. Ugh, I just love, like look at that. It has like this most gorgeous like lavendery, taupey, like still sort of brownie shift. So pretty, and again, I think these are only like $7, and the packaging is so cute. Last but not least, I have this gloss. I actually have a lip balm from Covergirl. I don't know where it is, but I've been wearing it like nonstop. It is the Covergirl Clean Fresh Lip Balm in like the berry shade. I'll pop a picture up. That is so hydrating on the lips, and it's like the perfect dupe for Clinique Black Honey. It gives you like that just bitten look to your lips, but it doesn't like smear all over your face. It's so pretty. I love that one. And if I'm not wearing that, I'm usually wearing this. This is the Covergirl Yummy Gloss. You guys, this gloss is yummy. First of all, it smells like literal candy. Like, it smells so good. So every time I apply this, it makes me hungry. It gives your lips like a wash of color. It looks more intense in the tube than it really is. They're not super pigmented, but these plump your lips. They don't hurt. They're not uncomfortable like some plumping glosses can be, but they make your lips look so plump and full and like smooth out the lines of your lips. They are a bit on the stickier side. They're not the most smooth gloss like the Tower 28 Jelly glosses. Those are like not sticky at all. These are a little bit sticky, but don't let that turn you off, because that just makes them very long lasting. I actually find these to be one of the most long lasting glosses I've ever tried. Like, these will hang onto your lips, and not only do they hang onto your lips, but they continue to hydrate your lips the longer that they hang on. They literally coat your lips like in a cloud of fruity, soft pillowiness that's so comfortable and addicting. Like, I literally would just apply this at the end of the night, like instead of a lip mask or a lip balm, because it's that nourishing on my lips and it feels that good. Love the smell. And not that you're supposed to eat your lip glosses, but if you do, it does taste very good. I will say, don't eat it, but just saying, it does. It is yummy. So yeah, I think that's everything. Let me know if you guys have tried any of these products. What do you love? What did you not love? What products did you love that I have not tried? I would love to hear from you guys. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye.